In this video, we will be discussing deadband understanding and programming. After you have established set points, stages, and stage widths, deadbands are also essential in your programming. For example, if the temperature in your greenhouse is below the cool set point and then rises into the cooling stages, cooling equipment will be turned on to lower the temperature and to bring it into the normal range or previous cooling stages. The distance it goes is determined by the deadbands. You see, for this example, deadband is the number of degrees the temperature needs to drop from the lower boundary of its current stage before it switches to the lower stage. Without deadbands, equipment tends to cycle frequently and constantly change states when the temperature approaches the set point. Now, to get to deadband programming, you would hit Enter Menu, System Setup, and then you would go to Setup Deadbands. And by default, cool and heat deadband is set to 1, relative humidity to 3%, and B heat, which is bottom heat deadband, 1 degree as well. Note, deadbands cannot exceed stage widths. So when a large value is used, set points may not be maintained. The typical value for deadbands might be 1 to 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Now for heating, it is the number of degrees the temperature needs to rise above the temperature boundary before it switches to a lower heating stage. Relative humidity deadband, this is the relative humidity percentage. The humidity must drop below the dehumidification threshold before exiting the dehumidification state. It also is the relative humidity percentage. The humidity must rise above the humidification threshold before exiting the humidification state. Bottom heat deadband, or B heat deadband, this is the number of degrees that the bottom heat temperature must rise above the bottom heat temperature set point or threshold before the heat valve switches off. Typical values might be 1 degree Fahrenheit or less. And once you have programmed your deadbands, you can now go ahead and hit back to the home screen to save your changes. And that's our video in setting up deadbands and establishing an understanding.